Okay.
Okay, first off,
Action.
I will do my general principles and safety practices. This is going to be a video of me doing an IV push and a piggyback. I would, of course, do my 11 routes of medication administration. I would do my 3 checks against the MAR. I would come into the room, knock on the door. I would do my 2 patient identifiers and get their name and birthday, and I'll check that against the bracelet and make sure that's all correct. I will ask them if they have any allergies, which they don't, and I'll raise the bed up for good body mechanics. Then I'm going to do hand hygiene and put gloves on, which I only have 1 pair.
Trying to make a rest for my arm. Sorry.
Alright, first off, I'm going to do my IV push. Like I said, I've already done my 3 checks against the MAR. We will take an alcohol swab here. I'm going to scrub this really, really good. If I didn't have fluids running, I could put the IV push in down here, but since he does have fluids running, we're going to do it at this first port. And I'm going to scrub it all the way around really hard. Now I'm going to take a flush. And put it into the port. I would want to pull back and aspirate it and make sure that there's good blood return. And then once I see that there is, then I'm going to slowly flush the IV line. I'm not gonna flush it because we've got everything soaked. We've done this a few times now, but I would take this off. And the whole time I'm flushing it, I'm gonna watch the IV site, look for redness, swelling, anything like that. I'm going to take another alcohol swab and I'm going to scrub it again really, really well. And then I'm going to take my medicine. We want to be careful not to touch either end whenever I put it in. And then I'm going to very slowly push the medication in. And then the whole time I'm pushing the medication in at the prescribed rate, I'm also going to be watching the IV site. I'm going to make sure there's no pain. I'm going to ask the patient how they're feeling with it. And I'm just going to do it very, very slowly. Once I have the medication in, we're going to pop that off. I'm going to take another alcohol swab. And I'm going to clean the port again. And at that point, I'm going to take another flush. And I'm going to hook it back on. And flush it through one more time. Really slowly flushing it through. Again, checking the site for redness and everything. After I've done that, then I'm going to take one of my little sterile caps, these little green caps. We'll go ahead and scrub it one more time for good measure. Scrub the hub, and then I'm going to put a cap on it and cap it off. Backtrack too, before I've done that, I would have clamped off the fluids or any medication that was running. I would have made sure that it was clamped off or the IV pump was turned off or whatever while I was administering the medicine. Once I have that administered, I also have a piggyback that I need to run. Here it is. Okay. We've already done the piggyback a couple times now, so it's already put together. But what I would do is I would get it's usually antibiotics or something along those lines. I would get the bag, break the seal. It would have a cap on it, and I would want to take the cap off. And I would also take my IV set, my spike, and I would take the cap off of that. Be very careful not to touch either side, and then I would twist it downwards until I pop that seal and get it in there. And then I'm going to want to turn the bag up, hang it up here on the pole. You want your piggyback to be up higher than this one. So we're also going to take this where that one is lower than the piggyback. I have my cap on it. So I would unclamp it and I would prime it, run all the fluid through, which we've already done that in another video, but it is primed. There's no bubbles in it. My chamber here, it's got fluid in it. I squeezed it, it's good. All of that, we're going to go to this hub right here. I would take another alcohol swab and I would vigorously rub this one and get it really, really clean. And this is when I would take the cap off of this. And again, I would be very careful not to touch either end. And I would put it on. Screw that on there. Once I get that on, I'm going to open up my clamp. When this is running, when this is dripping, this won't be, this will stop where it is hanging in lower. But the secondary bag will be running, it will run through. I'm going to make sure it feels okay to the patient, make sure there's no pain. You know, I would check for redness again, all of that, and that would be it. And then I would, you know, leave the room. I would go report everything I've done and record all that. I would come back after like 30 minutes or however long it takes the infusion to get done. You know, I would do my general principles and safety practices again. I would do hand hygiene, put on a new set of gloves, and I would just go through here. I would take this down. We're gonna go ahead and raise this up first. Okay, that's raised back where it should be. We're gonna take this off. And I would get rid of that, discard that. I would scrub it again, and then I'm gonna take one of my sterile caps and put it on here. I would also make sure when I did all that with the piggyback, everything runs at the prescribed rate, the rate that the doctor wants it to run at, which you could do either by gravity or by, if you had an IV pump, you could set it. But yeah, it's capped, everything's good. I discarded the piggyback. I would check once more just to make sure that everything's still good at the IV site. Clean up any more mess that I have, and I would report, record, and I would evaluate later.